Well, Rowan had Montclair on the ropes, but to beat the champs, you gotta knock them out, and the Redhawks come back and soar higher than ever and win this game with the final score of 89-75. Welcome to our halftime show on Hawk Plus with the Red Hawk Sports Network. I'm Vincent Picone, joined by the always amazing Thomas Gaffney Jr. Tom, what a game in this second half.
We saw Rowan come out, guns blazing. They started to take over the game, and it looked like they were going to kind of sail this one out. And then Montclair State, they started hitting the ball. They started going and going and going, started draining some shots. And in the 8-minute and 38-minute mark, Cabe Goss hits a three-pointer, puts the Montclair State Redhawks up by 1. And guess what? They never lost the lead, and that's why they won by 14. This team comes back from adversity all the time. They couldn't come back against TCNJ. They kind of bounced back in this game. They were down again, but they just proved that even if they're down, they can still get back up and win this game.
Well, I mean, Rowan at one point had a 12-point lead. They lose that 12-point lead and then all of a sudden find themselves down by 10 to the Redhawks. And you mentioned it, the big Cabe Goss 3. A lot of different factors go into this win. The live update from the Stockton TCNJ game is a win for TCNJ. They finished with the final score 76-66. So Saturday is the rematch. Now I want to get to that in a little bit, but let's stay on this game for just a second. 23-5 run for the Redhawks at one point. We saw a double-double from Miles Primus, his first all season. 4 players in double digits, 20 offensive boards. The stats go crazy. Tom, what really stood out to you in this second half?
The offensive boards. I think the second chance points, 18 second chance points in the whole game, and most of them came in that second half. You had Primus getting offensive boards. Christian Nicholson, Cabe Goss even were getting some offensive boards. Kunga Saring, when he got into the game, he was grabbing those offensive boards. That was the reason they won this game. Those second chance points, being able to go up, get that second shot, and be able to make that shot. Rowan kind of just gifting them the ball whenever they take the shot, they don't make it. And I think Rowan, if they go back, if they can go back in this game, they will try to be better on the offense, on the boards, on the defensive end. But unfortunately, Montclair State, they just started stockpiling all those offensive boards, and they took it and they ran with it. And I think that was the main stat that stood out to me in this game. And I think that's one of the reasons why they won it.
And I want to talk about a player that we did not mention so far in this one. He only had 4 rebounds. He only had 2 assists. He only had 4 points to his name. But his meaningfulness on the court goes beyond the stat line. Kunga Saring, only out there for 10 minutes, but he comes in, he subs in for Jacob Morales. He makes those defensive stops down low. What does this kind of guy, a guy like him, a guy like Christian Beck, or Kevin Beck, do for this team?
It's the size. Honestly, Kunga Saring's your tallest guy out there. So he stands at 6'7". And if Morales gets into foul trouble, which he did in this game, he had 4 fouls. Kunga Saring went out there with 3 minutes to go. What do you have to do? He had to just stand his ground, play good defense, and don't turn the ball over. And that's exactly what he did. Huge stop against Baker, and then he goes down there and he goes up for the lay, doesn't make it, but guess what? Offensive board right behind him. He did his job. He knew his role. He went out there, and he played those last 3 minutes like his life depended on it. And then if you talk about other names that kind of come out and then they show out, you have Ahmad Robinson off the bench. You have Kevin Beck. The bench is full of studs, and they go out there. They know their role. They know what they have to do, and they play flawlessly. And this team, it's always 11 deep. That's what Coach Potts likes to run. The best 11 players on the court, and that's what he does. And these 6 guys that don't start, honestly, they most likely are starters on other teams in the country. But they come out, they know their role, and they play absolutely amazing. It is a team effort from top to bottom, and the bench is a huge part and a huge reason.
Well, we said it earlier. You were at TCNJ for the game at Packer Hall. It's coming back to the Panzer Athletic Center. Last time these two teams met, 76-72 victory for the Redhawks. The rematch is set. The team that stopped them from an undefeated season is now standing in the way of a championship run for the Redhawks. What are we looking forward to on Saturday?
This is the game we want. This is the game everybody wants. Everybody across the country, even if you follow NJAC basketball, this is the game. The 3rd rendition this season. TCNJ destroys Montclair State's undefeated season. But now, guess where they have to go? They have to go to Panzer Athletic Center. They're not going to Packer Hall. They're coming to Panzer Athletic Center. It's going to bleed red. And TCNJ, unfortunately, you're not going to have that crowd with you. Jacob Morale is going to come out. Cabe Goss. They know their mistakes from that game, and they're going to come out and show out at Panzer Athletic Center in the NJAC final. They know that game. It's behind them. Now everything is in front of you, and it's going to be a tough time for TCNJ and Nick Koch and Matthew Solomon coming into Panzer Athletic Center.
What are we expecting from this? Because I believe in that first game, Solomon did not play against the Red Hawks, if I'm not mistaken. I would have to look
Solomon
back.
did play.
Solomon did. Okay.
So Solomon, Alexander, and Nick Koch all combined for 65 points out of TCNJ's set 94. It was a very good. Those three was the main reasons why they kind of went out. Nick Koch had 27 points. Solomon was huge in the paint. And I think that's what it comes down to. If you're looking at this matchup, they see what Rowan just did, and I think they're going to kind of tweak and see what they did against Montclair State that second time, and they're going to use it to their advantage. And I think it's the size. It's the paint presence. They're going to try to use it as much as possible, drive the paint, but they have tough players. They have Jonathan Okocha as well that can drain any three at any time, and Nick Koch, who, guess what, I think he's coming into this game. It's obviously the NJAC final, but he probably thinks he should have been NJAC Player of the Year, and he's coming in to prove that. It's going to be, I think the storyline is set. This game is going to be one of the best, honestly, one of the best that people probably will ever see. I think it's going to blow it out. I think it's going to blow it out of proportion. I think this game is going to be absolutely amazing. And if you're not going to be watching it, you better be watching it, because it's all eyes on deck this Saturday, because that game is going to be magnificent.
And if you're here at Montclair State, you got two big options for yourself, all right? You can either try to go to the game. If you can't go to the game, you can come here to the College of Communications. Come watch it with us. But right now, we're going to throw it down. Justin Randell, our sideline reporter at the scene, has the leading scorer with 25 points, Cabrian Goss. Justin, what do you say?
I'm here with Cabrian Goss, point guard for the Montclair State Redhawks. Congratulations on the victory. What did it take to get this win today?
I mean, it takes us digging in and being ourselves. They had a couple of runs, but we had to understand that we had to bring it together, be ourselves, and just keep playing basketball.
25 points for you today. Unbelievable game from you. What was working well for you personally?
I mean, I found my shot early, and the guys kept finding me, so kudos to them, and I guess I was just feeling it today.
Now, to begin the second half, it was a little bit of a struggle for you guys. They went on an 8-0 run to begin before Coach Potts called a timeout. What was said in the huddle that got you guys going?
I can't disclose that information, but you saw what happened when we came out of that huddle.
Awesome. So now next up for you guys, you're taking on TCNJ. It's confirmed that they beat Stockton. Obviously, they handed you guys your first loss last week. What are you hoping to see differently in that outcome?
A W.
You heard it here first. A W from Cabrian Goss. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, well, thank you, Justin, for that. Cabe Goss with him on the sideline. We'll be ready to see him. The game starts at 1 on Saturday. Going to be an early morning, but it's going to feel like a late-night drama. This is everything that has been written up in the stars. If the NJAC could write it up any other way, they couldn't have written it better than this. My goodness. Everything you want, Tom.
It's honestly like Roger Goodell's script writing right there. It's absolutely amazing that these two teams, number one, number two, the team that just beat Montclair State that ended their undefeated record, now meet again in the NJAC final. It is absolutely amazing. If you listen, ditch all your plans on Saturday. Whatever you're doing, just cancel them. Because now you should be, if you're a Montclair State fan, you should be at Panzer Athletic Center chanting on and cheering on these Redhawks. That's where you should be. You shouldn't be at maybe a wedding or anything else. You should be at Montclair State. You should be at Panzer Athletic Center if you're going to be doing anything this weekend. That's what you need to do. You need to cheer on your Redhawks. Go buy the tickets tomorrow morning. I think they go on sale at like 9 or 10 a.m. Buy the tickets. They're only $11 for non-students, $6 for students. Go out there, show out, and please fill that place in red, because we do not want to see any TCNJ fans in there.
We are excited for it. We are pumped up for it. Last time the Redhawks won back-to-back NJAC championships, the 1981-82 season. They won last year against Ramapo, and the last time they won prior to that was the 2003 season. Now, it runs back to Montclair. The hype is real. The hype is here. The 1 seed versus the 2 seed. You're pumped, Tom. I'm pumped, Tom. We'll be there on Saturday for this momentous occasion. I don't know what else to say. I mean, what did you see, at least from the Rowan side? We'll talk about that. They tried a new strategy today that we haven't seen a lot of teams implement. They went for the full court press. They were trying it out, and I mean, to their prevail, it worked for a solid minute, maybe. I don't know. I would say for about 28 minutes, that really worked well. It was the final 12 minutes it just fell apart.
Because once Montclair State, they realize it, I mean, you're the masters of it. You should know how to break it, and that's exactly what they did. They kept breaking it, and then they kept slowing it down a little bit. But once they saw that open lane, they're taking everything they get. And, again, it goes back to the offensive boards because if it wasn't for them, you're not scoring all the points you did in that second half. But you break the press, you're able to do it, you're able to get some good shots off, and then get the offensive board. I think that was the game plan, and that's exactly what they did. They know what the full court press is. They know how to break it because they're the masters of it. You have to be able to know how to break it. So they went out there. They just played their own game. They knew what they had to do coming out of halftime, and honestly, they did have some adversity going into that first half of the second half. But then after that, it was full sail. They knew what they had to do, and they started draining a couple of threes, the vintage Montclair State three, and then it was all over from there. It's just absolutely awesome that they're able to regain that lead in that second half, stay composed, and bring it all the way up to 14 points. A 14-point win, even though out of halftime, it felt like it was going to be maybe a close game, a 5-point game, if anything, at the end. I would if you told me it was going to be a 14-point game, Montclair State would have won. I would have been like, wow. What a second half for them.
I mean, it put everything together there. And towards the end, what did Montclair really switch up in their game? I mean, they had to have switched up something. They come out, they win by this extensive score. You ended on a high note. Let me ask you this. TCNJ, looking out to in on this one. They don't know, they can't really tell the full story. But you do see Montclair was down by 10 at one point, down by 12 at one point. What does that give TCNJ with a win that was always on their side?
Well, TCNJ is coming into this game knowing that they can beat this team. They already did, and they beat them by double digits. They saw Rowan give them a little bit of a fight, and they know that this is probably, honestly, I would say might be the weakest point where Montclair State is right now. They came off a loss. They finally got that win. They bounced back. But they were going through all season undefeated, and now you kind of have them. They're kind of down low a little bit, and now TCNJ, 2 straight wins. They got the win against Montclair State. They ruined their undefeated season. I just think you're coming into this game knowing that you could beat this team, and I think that's what you have to drill in your head, and you have to know that. Even though they're a juggernaut, they only have one loss. You are the loss, and you should go into this game saying, guess what? Who cares? We beat them already. We're going in, and we know you can beat them a second time. I think that's just the game plan, and you know you have the players to do it. You have the players to beat Montclair State, and I think that's what they have to go. They have to put that in their head, knowing that they can win.
Yeah, well, I mean, for Saturday, today, it was a huge game. The profs got taught a lesson that not to mess with the Redhawks. On Saturday, though, it's not a David and Goliath story. It's a Batman versus Superman story. 2 juggernauts going at each other here on Hawk Plus and on the Red Hawk Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Saturday, 1 p.m., you know where to find us, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Signing off, I'm Vincent Picone, and he's Thomas Gaffney Jr. We'll see you next time.